Today we learn about the teachings of Confucius, and this is another great master from China. And when we learn from different masters, we will resonate with some master very closely. Some we take it as learnings, we start implementing it, but some we really get deeper and understanding the depth, the value of our life, or maybe our purpose in life, and what do we want to do exactly, right? So, Confucius is one of those masters who have created a lot of transformation with his spiritual wisdom. And let's see a couple of things today which is really important, that if you implement these, you yourself would see subconsciously, whatever was your past, or whatever was your past identity, it gradually starts fading away, the parts which you don't need, and you start evolving to a person that you're deep down on the soul side. Okay, so let's start off with, okay, so this is the learnings of the great. Okay, before that, just to give you a quick glimpse. Now, when we try to learn different teachers, okay, we learn different dimensions of spirituality. Okay, so we start inclining to one of them. We might start following all these great teachers. And when you have started following them, automatically what happens, without even you knowing, you become an enlightened master. Which means now you know that what I need to be doing, for not just for myself, not just for my family, but for the entire community on the outside. So you become a master for the planet Earth. You become a person who is learning and learning and learning and learning from everybody. So then there is nothing like, okay, I am done. I learned about five masters and it's come to an end. No. Then naturally what happens, we become those masters and we start implementing this in our day-to-day life. At the same time, we start teaching all this. It comes so naturally to us that when you're talking, you wouldn't even realize that, how these words are coming, because you have ingrained yourself in every cell of you, in every word, in every action, in every thought, in the entire intention that you really want to serve. So when you do that, even when you start teaching meditation, or when you talk about different concepts in life, people will resonate deeply with you. They understand that this person comes with a good amount of knowledge. So whatever you're learning, make sure that you write it down and you read it over and over and over again. Because truth has to be heard multiple times. Whenever you get free time, just run through the book, whichever page comes to you, just read that page. Try to absorb it into your brain completely. And that would really help you to become more of a conscious living person. So understanding what did this great master or this great sage from China do for the humankind. Now, like I mentioned, it was a similar time when Gautam Buddha was also born. It was around 5-6 centuries, and before that we also have Jesus Christ, right? So they were all born quite similar times. Even in Greece, Socrates was born. So all the enlightened masters were born in different countries, like how Bhagavad Gita is to India. The teachings of Confucius is to China. So he's not just an enlightened great master, but he was also a great politically advising individual. People used to take emperors in China, used to take his advices. He was a great administrator. And only an enlightened person can be a great administrator because they understand what are the pros and cons, what is your action, what is your karmas, how do you have to treat one another, how do you have to treat your people. So let's understand what was this great master's teachings. Because his learnings is all about how can you be great in whatever you're doing. And the first one is sincerity. How can you be a sincere individual in every walk of your life? Because sincerity breeds seriousness, and seriousness breeds enlightenment. I think we learned this even in the Eightfold Path. Okay, so each master comes with similar teachings in different locations because everybody wants, a master from their own land so that you connect well with your master. Right? So this is one of the grand teachings of this Chinese master, which is sincerity breeds seriousness and seriousness breeds enlightenment. Now, what is sincerity? Sincerity means you're being true to your own self. You're being authentic to your existence, to your core self, to your heart. In whatever you're doing, you're just following your heart, which means you're being sincere. Now, for example, if you want to learn music and you really want to learn it from the core of your being, like you really feel it deep down, then what do? Then you sincerely look for a music teacher. Not because your parents have forced you into it or the society demands you from it. You're doing it because it is a craving for you from deep inside. If it is just because parents are telling, society is telling, teachers are telling, you do this, then your future will be bright, you'll get more opportunities, then what happens? You're not being sincere to your own self. And many a times, many children, pass their childhood just with this that they keep listening to their elders and not really listening to their inner self. Right? But when you learn certain passions, certain things which connects deep down within you, that is a feeling from your heart. And what comes from your heart is something what you're sincere about. You're really authentic about. Now, you had an inner calling that you want to learn spirituality. You wanted to understand more and then take that into the field of service that you're doing. Now, that is something which has ignited deep down from your soul consciousness. Because when you do something for people on the outside, you want to give in your 200%. So when you're sincere, sincerity breeds seriousness. So it brings more seriousness into your passion, into the purpose of your life, into how you want to create an impact. So what is seriousness? It is how you make your efforts every single day. So you're sincere every single day until you get what you want, which means you understand that your life is a complete learning process. There is no full stop at the age of 40 or 45 or 50. It is a complete learning process. And when you go through this process is when you really enjoy the benefits of being serious about it, which means you start seeing your life transforming at every phase, and it gets more deeper and deeper and deeper because you now understand there is a lot more to unpeel. But if, for example, if Confucius had to say, no, I am done, I have learned enough, he wouldn't have been able to uncover these potentials. He had always an appetite that I want to live a better life. I want to live a more happier life. I want to know what is the deep inside that I have come here for. So your feelings is what brings life to reality, brings more meaning into life. And that is where you sincerely operate to reach a stage of self-transformation. You're making that efforts every single day. You do it regularly. Now, for example, if you're practicing meditation, you practice meditation. You know that alone will not serve the purpose. You need to read books. So you practice mindfulness. Because now you're doing the practical, you're doing the theory, automatically you will start implementing that in every single day of your life with complete sincerity. Because you have a purpose to achieve in life. And until you get what you want, you keep making your efforts regularly. So you practice sadhana because that is what we have learned, right? Until you achieve what you want, you don't give up. You keep learning and learning and learning. And when you keep learning, you start getting more closer to your goal. And that is a serious student. A serious student is someone who focuses on the journey, not on the destination. You enjoy the journey of understanding that what am I here for? What am I doing in my life? What is the purpose of my life? Why do these challenges come? What am I learning out of it? So every situation, let it be a beautiful situation, let it be a difficult situation, you find meaning in every situation. And when you find a meaning in every situation, you're helping yourself to transform. So naturally, seriousness breeds enlightenment. Excuse me. So this is the great learning of Confucius. That is learning to be great. Because unless you're not sincere, you cannot be great. And your greatness begins with your sincerity. Now, there is a difference between being great and being the best. We have learned always, right? Be the best, do the best, give it your best. So, best means there is a comparison. You're comparing yourself to another person. So, you're trying to be good, you're trying to be better, you're trying to be best. There is always a comparison. But here in this field of spirituality or in the human evolution, what the great masters have mentioned or the enlightened masters have told is we do not focus on being the best or being perfect. We focus on being great. Because if it is to be best, there is only one who can be the best. Right? So if there is a first rank holder in school in a certain grade, there is only one person who gets that first rank. There cannot be anyone better than that person. That person is the best. But to be great, if you see greatness in every single individual. Because greatness is living your true potential. You're not comparing them with somebody else. You are on this path of greatness to understand what is spirituality, which means if you look back at the last 3-4 days, and today when you look where you stand, you have come a long way. So you're on your journey of being a great human, which ideally means you are expressing or radiating from your core true self. Because we all know God created everyone the same. So unless we are not sincere, there is no way we can be great. And this is the great teaching. Learning to be great and to be sincere. Now, how can we get sincerity? Or how do we be sincere? Knowledge leads us to sincerity. So the more knowledge you gain, the more you are connected to your purpose, whatever is your purpose of life. Because the beauty of knowledge is that it delimits you. You become that unlimited. So whatever was your limited understanding until now, being in that box, fitting inside that box of what the community or the society or parents or whatever conditioning we have gone through, this knowledge will delimit all of that. You will break through all of that, all the conditionings, and everything will vanish. And all that, what will remain is this knowledge. And from here, this knowledge becomes your foundation. And that is when you become empowered. So, knowledge delimits you and knowledge empowers you. Now, we might think how to acquire this knowledge. It is all about how you keep investigating. You need to keep investigating, be more curious, to learn more, to listen to more masters, or to read about more masters, or to listen to other people's experiences, what they have experienced before meditation, how their life was, what hardships they went through. After meditation, sadhana, satsangs, swadhyaya, all of this, how they have prospered in their life, how they have taken those downfalls or those challenging moments in their life which devastated them into a beautiful and a graceful spiritual learning. So if you want to be sincere, you need to make sure that every single moment you are serious about your passion. Whatever is your purpose of life, you're sincerely committed to it. So when you investigate more, what happens? You start learning more. And that is exactly what Confucius' teachings were. He thought more from a global perspective, from a bigger perspective of how to bring peace on the earth. And if I want to bring peace on the earth, first I have to bring order in the state, wherever you are, and then to the country. Because a country is made of many states. So if you want peace on the entire planet Earth, then you have to first bring order to a particular state or multiple states. Now, before even you bring an order to the state, you have to first regulate your own family. Because if you remember, in the olden days, the family, they used to live in tribes, in communities. But today it is more of a nuclear family. But in olden days, it was all about having community. So family is nothing but community. It is your tribe. It's your people whom you love, whom you care, whom you want to live along with. So before you can think about bringing an order into the state or to your community or to your tribe, you need to first understand that it all begins with you. Because a family is nothing but it consists of different individuals of different mindsets. So, unless these individuals are not cultivated to understand how to be kind, how to be living in peace and harmony, you cannot get to a bigger community. So, that is why you always need to ensure that first you help yourself transform. You cultivate everything that you learned in your personal life. And when you do that, automatically people around you who are watching you, they'll be like, hey, how can he do it? Or how can she do it? Or when they can do it, why can't I? So the entire emphasis is on cultivating your personal life. Because some people think, you know, if I want to do something for planet Earth, or if I want to do something for the whole nation or the whole community, they first go out to do service. They first go out just with that, the heat of the moment, they just go out to do something. And gradually, what happens after a couple of days? The interest starts fading away. You don't have clarity of what you need to do, how you need to do. They're not able to create more impact. And automatically, the passion dies down because they don't have clarity of how to create an impact because they haven't implemented it in their own life. So when you are associated with all the learnings that you're taking from different masters, from different books, from different people, automatically you are cultivating that in your personal life. So first, cultivate in your personal life. Then what happens? Automatically, you will start rectifying your mind because there's a lot of program already installed. And remember in the last class we discussed, as you think, so you become. If you want good health, you should have healthy thoughts first. As you think, so you become. Because your thoughts are very powerful. So your mind has to be rectified first. Unless your mind is not rectified, your personal life cannot be cultivated. And to rectify your mind, what should you do? Where we begin is you need to be more sincere. You need to have that willpower that I want to work on my life. I want to do something different. So you make time out for yourself. You expand your knowledge. You start investigating new things. Like you check about different people. What was their life? How did they start? Where are they right now? What did they do in between this? And then you start practicing it in your life also. The moment you start implementing, you start seeing your mind thinking different. Automatically, you will start culturing it in every single day what you do. Because it begins with your individuality. So when you expand your knowledge, you start becoming more curious. Because now you know, I just know a drop of water in the ocean. I have still not learned the entire ocean. So the level of commitment, the level of sincerity increases more. So for example, if you want to do the right meditation, you want to do meditation every single day, what you would do? You would commit to yourself that I would spend this much time every single day meditating. So you will sit, you will close your eyes, you will keep observing your breath, and you're meditating. But you are not reading any books, you're not listening to any masters, you are just meditating. So all that is happening is meditation, meditation, and only meditation. So what happens? You might do it for a month, you might do it for 3 months or 4 months, and gradually you might receive some energy, some bit of cosmic energies. But what is happening is you will start experiencing certain transformations happening through meditation, but slowly over a period of time, demotivation will start creeping up. Because now you feel that I know meditation and I have done it for so many months and I'm already doing it. And then we start developing excuses. Like today I'm busy, or today I didn't get time, I will do it tomorrow. So, what happens automatically? The intensity to practice over a period of time slowly starts reducing. But if you look at the other side, when along with you doing meditation, you are reading spiritual books or you are listening to great masters, podcast, YouTube, Audible, whatever it is. You are listening to their transformational journey, which means what inspired them to be where they are today. Automatically, that knowledge that you receive from that individual or that great master will inspire you. Now, what will happen? You will start meditating more. When you start meditating more, you will start building more curiosity to read more books. So you might finish one book, you want to read another book. You want to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. You will start visiting places which is high on energies. You will start going to place where you can take spiritual retreats. You can stay in a place very close to nature to understand the energies of nature, to experience the different elements of nature. So just to give you a glimpse, when I started meditation, it was back in 2010. And I was very desperate to know about myself because I was 28 then, and I really had no clue what inclined me to meditation. But ever since childhood, it was always like I never liked doing prayers, doing rituals, arti, and doing all that things. I used to ask a lot of questions like, why do we do all this? What is the intention of doing all this? If you're telling a particular day you shouldn't step out of the house, why shouldn't we do that? For me, it was all about reasoning, questioning. But it was always with my dad. But he was so honest in telling that what he knows, he will tell. But with that limited knowledge that he had, he couldn't get to the fundamentals of it as to why are you doing it. All he had to say was, my elders have told me this, so you also follow this. So that never gave me a clarity. But then in the midst of the family expectations, education, college, then career, family, child, somewhere things faded away. It didn't completely vanish off, it was somewhere there suppressed. But it was all about family expectations, working in a corporate. It's like 15 years right now. I'm into a corporate, working in the leadership, lot of responsibility, lot of stress, coming home, then managing the house, going through my own ups and downs, mood swings, frustration, irritation, then watching my son go through certain skin disorders, which was coming from generations after generations after generations. And I was like, why all this is happening? And again, those questions which I had started surfacing up. And now at this time, it was more like, I don't want to live in this darkness. Like, of course, the corporate job is giving me money. It is fulfilling my family needs, my monthly necessities, and all of it. But I felt like I'm living in darkness. it was not giving me that kind of fulfillment. I really wanted that completeness, which I never got in all these years of whatever I did. And then is when I was like, I used to do yoga, physical yoga, the hatha yoga from 8th grade. But meditation is something which came to me when after my, just during my pregnancy period. And it was not very easy for me because I had some bit of uneasiness, body pains, cramps, and all of it. But still, I thought I need to start doing it because there was a lot of stress, there was a lot of disturbance, there was a lot of negative energies around. And I didn't want that experience to get in. So I thought, let me start practicing meditation. And when I started practicing it, it started unpeeling different questions that I had. And then it built more curiosity that I need to learn more. It is not just about sitting and meditating. And that is when the reading of books started. The first books which I started was the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita. Quran I had read during my childhood days, so I know about the Prophet's teachings. When I started opening all these books, the different verses, the different, you know, uh, the Sanskrit verses, reading and reading and reading over and over again. And one thing, because I learned Sanskrit in school, it was easy for me to read Bhagavad Gita. Then to learn about Ramayana, Mahabharata, understanding perspective not just from a perspective of Rama, but also from a perspective of Sita. Because all we have learned in Ramayana is about how was Lord Rama, what was his kind of leadership, how did he care for his people. But there is a lot also what Mata Sita has mentioned, how she has experienced a journey, what was her enlightenment journey when she was in that Ashok Vatika. There is another book which I would let you know later. It is the Untold Story of Sita. And you would get to learn a lot about Mata Sita. What is her learnings? What is her divine feminine energies? How it has helped people around her transform, including Ravana. And that is when I really felt a sense of, getting closer to my purpose in life. Because it came through a painful event, but it was a beautiful learning where it took me to where I am today, where I'm able to do a lot more for people around, build a lot more of social network, and it was all built on the foundation of spirituality. Giving sessions after sessions after sessions. And when my son started growing up, when he was 7.5, 8 years old, I put him also through meditation. I asked him, do you want to learn meditation? And he said, yes. And he started learning meditation. So gradually, when we understand that what we are doing is resonating deep inside, then you are really sincere about what you're doing. Then being in corporate is a part of it, which is still a part now, but still that has not taken away the importance of spirituality in my life. That is where I connected with various masters globally, met them, sat in their sessions, learned a lot out of them, got to know about a lot more of spiritual books, and brought that into my life. And gradually my thought process started changing because I was quite an aggressive human, very short tempered, very stubborn. I didn't even think twice before I did something, like that impulsive I was. But today, every single thing that I practice, I do, you start thinking from a collective consciousness because you are an energy body, and whatever you do, it is going to impact everyone around you. So you become more aware that what is the goal of meditation, or what is the purpose of meditation? Why am I meditating even? And every single day that started bringing more light, more brightness. That when your mind is empty, you can do more with this mind. You can slowly start contributing not just to your family, but to everyone outside your family. So when we rectify our mind, what happens? We rectify all that negative, that disastrous thoughts in our mind. We break all those thinking patterns. And whatever the old patterns were, they get faded away and your mind is rectified. So when your mind gets rectified, automatically your personal life is getting more cultured. So when the individual life is getting cultured, you're becoming more of, corrected version. You're becoming more of a beautiful person. And then people are able to see that how loving person you are. They see that friendship in you. They see that you teach from a sense of oneness. You are a compassionate human being because you hold a lot of kindness inside. So your personal life naturally gets cultured and cultivated, which impacts automatically your immediate family, whoever you're living with. And you don't have to do intentionally, you don't have to sit them down, teach them. No. When they see you, they start mirroring you. So you impact very organically. You become an inspiration to many around you. So it is certain that there is a good amount of peace and harmony in your house. And automatically, the level of understanding builds naturally. There is less of arguments, there's less of misunderstanding, there's less of conflict in the house. And now the family is in more harmony because it is more regulated. And naturally, when your family is happy, then all the families around start embracing it. Wherever you go, maybe to your workplace, maybe to your service place, maybe to your neighborhood, wherever it is, you start impacting community. And then state, country, and you keep moving out and out and out. And naturally, there will be a lot of peace in the planet Earth. And these are the great learnings of Confucius. So when you emphasize that when you cultivate your personal life, you're devoting time for meditation. You're devoting time for more and more reading books. And more than anything, you're contemplating every single day. Now, what are you contemplating? You're contemplating what is nitya and what is anitya. Means what is permanent and what is temporary. Now, what is permanent and what is temporary? Let's try to understand this a little more deeper. For example, if you're earning money and you're putting all your time and energy into making money, and once you need to vacate this body, you're not going to take a single penny to the next world wherever you go. Right? So there are two kinds of accounts. One is a permanent account, one is a temporary account. Now, as long as you are on this physical realm, on this planet Earth, whatever money or whatever wealth, whatever we are making, these are all temporary accounts because you cannot take this to the higher realms. And then there is something called the permanent account. Now, permanent account, what is it? Where you carry what you do, your seva, your good karmas, they go into your permanent account. So you dedicate your time, you see what kind of service you want to do, how you want to impact people. Because you're investing your time, you're investing your efforts, you're putting in your energy. So you see how you can create a mass impact. And what you yield out of that is good karmas. So the money, what you earn, goes into your temporary account. But your good deeds, your good karmas, goes into your permanent account. And it is with you always. No matter which world you travel to, it is always with you because it is your permanent account. So let's take another example over here. Now, all your experiences that you're taking along with you. Now, some people accumulate a lot of wealth, right? They might have one house, but they will want to invest on another house, another investments, maybe for emergency reasons. They buy plots, they buy properties, they invest on different kind of investments. But the money that is coming, they do not have time even to enjoy that money to the fullest. Right? Many a times we see people earning for their whole life, 50, 60 years of their life, they are earning and saving. But they don't even get time to spend that money to learn their passions. Maybe they're passionate about music. They don't get time to learn. They don't get time to spend that money and enjoy in nature or to travel or to explore or to just go to different parts of the world to explore the different countries, different cultures. Because there is a lot of learning what you get from it. You get to meet different people, you get to enjoy different beauties of life, nature, scenics, you get to learn different types of music, different types of artworks. And all this, what you take in, goes into your permanent account. This is permanent. So, contemplating what is temporary, what is permanent, your body is temporary, your family, your children, your wealth, everything is temporary. What is permanent? What your soul experiences, your self experiences deep down, the experiences and the learning that you take along with you is the only permanence. So, this contemplation shakes your entire being. And it takes you on your path where your priority is no more of temporary things, but your priority is on your permanent things. How do you want to do more? How do you want to impact more? You want to explore the world. You want to explore those high energy points on this planet Earth. Eternal things. Because your soul is eternal. The Atma is eternal. There is no death for the soul, right? So you will focus more on having experiences, especially soulful experiences. Because the body level, the mind level experiences automatically will get minimized over a period of time. When you get that inner calling, then your priority is all about your soul level. And this is culturing your personal life. And all sincere people who have become great have lived in this nature of awareness. Because once your awareness builds, you become more self-realized that where do I want to invest my energies? What do I really want to do? Which makes me feel so fulfilled from deep inside. So if you're sincere, you're bound to be great. And all insincere people only languish on their ordinary. They can never become great because they're all about whatever ordinariness what they have. And this is the greatest truth which was spoken by this great sage, the great master Confucius. With this great understanding, when you see or when you emphasize on sincerity, you understand how to be more serious in whatever you're doing. Because unless you're not sincere, you cannot cultivate a personal life the way you want it. And it is only sincerity that breeds you into seriousness. And in turn, seriousness breeds you into enlightenment. So anything, whether let it be physical manifestations or materialistic manifestations or spiritual, any field you take, anything that you're doing, because you've come here to enjoy everything in life. But unless you're sincere, there is no way we can be great in any particular field. So if we are not sincere towards our business, or we are not sincere towards earning money, or for being successful, or for being a businessman, whatever it is, if there is no sincerity in practicing what you want to do, it could be a sports, it could be a game, then we cannot be a great player in that area. So in the same way, if you're not sincere towards your sadhana, towards your meditation practice, or towards your self mastery, then eventually we cannot be a great master. So underline this phrase, that unless you are sincere, you cannot be great. You can't achieve what you want. And that is the truth. Whether we like it or not, this has to soak in deep inside us. Because the deeper you understand, it will greatly help you in your journey. So we have to learn from various masters. And what Confucius has told is sincerity breeds seriousness, and seriousness breeds enlightenment. And teaching of learning to be great. So sometimes, say for example, in meditation, you experience that state of emptiness, right? You start observing your breath, you start focusing, and you might get at on a gradual pace a lot of visions, a lot of messages coming to you. And then you would be able to connect that what you're learning is what you're receiving also. Because what you're seeking is also seeking you. And you start seeing that how it starts impacting your life. Right? So today I think we'll stop here. We will come to the power of silence in tomorrow's session. So this is the teachings of Confucius, and let's pause over here.